On. So everybody just bring your hand, your right hand, to your physical heart, which should be beating a little stronger and a little faster. Closing your eyes. Breathe in. Imagine your breath going deep into your heart. And then out. And again. One more time. Imagine breathing down through your legs, down into the earth, noticing golden roots stretching from your feet, from your toes, down through the crust of the earth, through the rock, through the soil, all the way down to the center of the earth. Feeling it anchor there into 3 trillion tons of unwavering support and grounding and providence. Trusting, knowing, because you are, that you are loved and that you are provided for. Breathing all of that energy back up and in. Back up and in through your feet, up your legs, up through your spine. Noticing each one of your chakras blooming and blossoming as that energy moves up your spine. And notice you can expand beyond the limits of your physical body. Expand to fill the room. Expand again to fill the building. To fill the city block. The whole city. The state. The country. Speeding up now, filling the whole world. Containing the entire solar system. All the planets. Our sun. Containing the galaxy. Now the whole universe. Notice that everything is actually inside of you. There is no outside. Everything is inside of you. Noticing that you are always and already able to be from that space of infinite intelligence, encompassing all, containing all. What is it you choose to create? What is it you choose to manifest? Suddenly notice yourself surrounded in white, pearly, iridescent light. The space of infinite potential. the space where everything is possible. The space where the quantum waveform collapses into one specific version based on what you pay attention to and what you intend. Breathing into that space. Choosing what it is that you're here to create in this now moment inside your business, inside your life. Repeating silently after me. Source of all it is. It is requested that I have, and then fill in the blank. In my life now, for the highest and best good of all, in perfect alignment. I demand, I command, and I am all of this which I desire. In my hands and use now and continuously. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. Show me. Now imagining the whole universe as a whirlpool, and you pour your desire in, and it spins round and round. Trusting, knowing that what you desire has already been given you before you asked, that it's on its way. And that in perfect timing, you will see the physical manifestation. Taking one more deep breath from this space. Letting it go. Noticing yourself shrinking down again from containing the whole universe to containing the galaxy, the solar system, the earth, the country, the city, your home, your room, your body. Breathing into your heart, grounding into the ground, letting it all go. Feeling free to wiggle some toes, some fingers, some nose. Bringing yourself back into the room. If anybody has anything that they'd like to share, either raise your virtual or your digital hand. We'll call on you about your experience just now, or even just sharing what it is that you're creating, what it is that you're manifesting. Going once. Going twice. I see somebody. I think they're going for the unmute. Maybe not. It's okay either way.
I was gonna type, but I'll unmute if that's better.
Yeah. Let's hear you. What's up? What you get? How was that for you?
It was interesting. I was kind of seeing myself in a mirror, then seeing a reflection of how I want to see myself.
Hmm.
And one of the things that I was manifesting, which is one of my money goals, is um building consistent 6,000 each month.
Mhm.
So that was going through my head through this while seeing myself um soaring.
Hmm.
And I mean like kind of flying in the sky.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool. Cool. I hear you. That's awesome. Yeah, there's something I want to dance with in what you shared real quick. Oh, everybody's arriving now. Check that out. Welcome to Anna. Welcome to Kermit. Welcome to Dr. Ruiz. I'm gonna take you off the hot seat. So you're not just like hanging out there like, oh, I need to say something else. Um, the most important thing we can manifest is who we are. Like, and this will speak straight to what you're talking about. I regularly coach coaches and healers to go from a couple $100s a month to their first like 15K week or month or day in sales. And it's one thing to take the actions, like go hustle and grind, generate the lead, whatnot. It's another thing to believe that you are the person for whom this is natural and inevitable, this amount of money consistently. So like I'll coach somebody and they'll skyrocket, but unless they've worked on feeding the new self-image and manifesting the new version of them, then it'll be like up and down until they get consistent in who they are. Like I am a high ticket coach. I am worthy of consistent income. Yeah, Anna says absolutely agreed. Did that land for you, Chantel? Was that helpful?
Yes, it did. It's one of the things I've been working on with like building more in the mindset and trying to balance that and not to like hustle as much as I normally would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because if who you are is just this is the kind of thing that happens for me, then it's easy to be consistent, both in your action and in receiving. So yeah. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else? I can take one more before we jump into having Fred present, and then we'll come back to me teaching some manifestation before the end and breakout rooms. Anybody else? All right. Beautiful. Oh, Annie Emmanuel. Yeah, let's hear from you, buddy. What's up, man? Let's get you unmuted. There you go.
Hello. I greet everyone here.
What's that?
Hello, good evening from this side. I greet everyone here.
Good evening.
My name is Animano Chus from Nigeria, but I live in Libya here.
Could you say that again? It was a
It's a
little.
yeah, my name is Animano Chus. I'm from Nigeria, but I live in Libya, Tripoli.
Fantastic. Well, it's great.
Very nice to meet you.
Yeah, same. Was there anything specific you wanted to share about your experience with our meditation, or just wanted to introduce yourself?
I just want to introduce myself. I'm very happy to meet you guys here today.
Same. Yeah, I invite you all. Let's send Annie Emmanuel some love. This is this is one of our ways of acknowledging people, or at least it's one of my ways. So feel free. Beautiful. Yeah, it's great to have you.
Thank you.
All right. So without further ado, as they say, I'm going to bring up the mighty, the majestic, the powerful Fred Smith.
Oh, man. Definitely. Can you hear me?
Yes. Woo, Fred.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate being here. High energy group. Yeah. So all you high energy, I really appreciate it. This is a continuation of what we talked about last week. It says start sharing. Okay, I'm gonna continue so I can share the screen real quick. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about today some of the stuff that we talked about the other week. And who was here last week? Anybody have who was here? Okay, cool. Any specific wins? Did we go apply it? What happened next when you go do it? Anything at all? Cool.
I applied something, Fred.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. What happened?
So what I did was, remember you said go to Amazon.com and look up your your skill set or what subject that you're talking about. And
Yep.
so mine is like blockchain and crypto. And there was like a book that had like over like 200 reviews. And so I copy and paste so I can start decoding on the messaging. And then my next action step is to start looking at the comments and see the similarities and differences so I can tighten up my message to speak to the hearts of those who want to learn about crypto.
Boom. That's a big win. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Yeah, because what you're going to discover real quickly is that somebody else had already put that out there, and all we're doing is just taking that source material and just putting it into our own flow. See, I can speak. I got a good vocabulary. Yep. So I wanted to go into a little bit more of that detail because that's so critical. And even though the interesting thing about last week is that these slides always generate conversation. So it was only 10 slides. I just want to recap for people who might have missed it. So when I first started out, I was talking about the science of lead generation, like the tactics our clients use for a 6 to 7 figure year, week, month, or day. And the first question I asked was like, who believed that and who didn't believe that? And the reasons why is because sometimes marketing can get in the way of our true message. So what is that somebody else doing that? Trying to figure out how. Okay, cool. Yeah. So what I wanted to go into was a little bit more detail as to how this process happens. I'm not that left brain. I'm not that right brain. I'm somewhere in between, because when you're working to manifest something, at least in my reality, it's more of a push-pull because I have to make the sausage in order to make it happen. So I'm one of those guys where I just want to just go ahead, and I can't talk about something that I've never done. I'm out of alignment. But have I had all of this stuff happen? Yes. Have I had my clients have it happen? Yes. Now we just want to be able to increase frequency and vibration. So if we can do that with our own offers, then typically we'll start attracting that audience. Does that make sense? Cool. Cool. I appreciate that. So we had just a few more slides to go into, but just from a very high level, if I had to give this all over again in a shorter period of time, I would just say what mainly people are looking for these days are the human touch, and they're looking for your experience. They're looking to see how you put that together in a way that connects and resonates with them. So does anybody have any questions so far on that? Because that really is today's lead generation game. There's a lot of marketing fatigue out there. And I just wanted to check in and make sure if anybody else has been having challenges or struggles that we can go over that real quick. We good? Okay, cool. So we talked about it giving you a chance to demonstrate your professional expertise and taking them through your experience in real time. And I did that last week. I'm going to do a lighter version of it this week because admittedly, I think what we have to do, sometimes we can get on Zooms and we get either Zoom fatigue or we kind of get so much information. So this is one of the reasons why I always look at it as like information with the expectation of transformation. So I'm going to go through a light one today just for about maybe 5 minutes or so. But again, I do want to hang on this one right here for a little bit of, I want to check in on this one. So how do you prepare content, communication, and connection that will ultimately lead to a conversion? Thoughts? Here's where I be quiet.
Calls to action.
Okay. So when you say call to actions, can you tell me a little bit more about that?
getting them to engage, whether it's provide information like email address, phone number, getting them to pay something on a credit card, some sort of getting them to actually take some action.
Okay, that's fair. What else? Anybody else?
Connecting with them genuinely, like figuring out what their needs are, how I can support them, leading with engagement.
Okay.
Or content.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. That was Brittany.
Yeah, and to furthermore on that, yeah, basically knowing who they are, like learning your customer, because they say that's the best way to capture them is to know them.
Okay. Cool. So here's a pop quiz for you. And you can take out a piece of paper if you don't just visualize this. I want you to visualize like a little, remember back in the day, they had those little charts with the line from left to right, one line, and then it's like a segment. I think that they taught us that in geometry. So like on one piece of paper or in your mind, I want you to visualize on the very far side, left side, transaction. So write the word mentally or write it out, transaction. And on the far right side, I want you to take the other side of that line and put relationship. Because a lot of people don't do this, and it's hard to really attract your ideal audience if you don't know. Some people are just transaction based. They don't care. They're just like, I don't care. Here's my money. What do I get? What's my ROI? What's this? What's that? What's this? What's that? Then you have some people who are very relationship based where, you know, you got to go to their offices 20 times. You got to have coffee, you know, right? So if we aren't able to reverse engineer like what percentage that they really want to be either transactional or relationship based, then we could be attracting the wrong audience. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Anybody disagree with that? Because I'm curious to get some feedback on that thought right there. Because a lot of people overlook this part. There is a difference between a transaction and a relationship. Some people, like I attract people who are mainly in between. But again, I've been in environments where it's just straight, hey, transaction. That's it. I don't need to know you. Don't care. And this is like high ticket stuff. I'm talking about like these are transactions, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 and up.
No, I actually agree with you. And what I was starting to say was that for me, it's when I start to communicate, it's showing about, yes, how I'm an authority, but also how I'm relatable, because I want that connection from the start. Yeah, 100%. And you said the key words that I was listening for, from the start, because so as it begins, it could change, but for the most part, you know, as transformation coaches said, that's like a joke, transformational coach joke. I like made on the fly, nobody laughed. I just bombed that one. But the reality of it is, so as it begins, so as it ends in some cases, but yeah, but for the most part, that's what we want to do. We really want to figure that out, because you will forever be hustling all of your life, just waiting to get the right people. And I'm very serious about that. It's just some people are just never going to be your audience. Some people are never going to be on the vibration. Some people are maybe on a different vibration than you. Some people are just literally just walking the earth, and they aren't even aware that this lane exists, quite frankly. So you want to spend a lot of time and effort and resources. I mean, you can. I'm not saying that that's impossible. You have to just say consciously, that's what I want to have happen, because you have to figure out what happens next. So that conversion part to me is the what happens next part, if that makes sense. You know, once they say yes, once they move into action, you should really think about what happens next, because and a lot of us miss that. That's the reasons why sometimes our advertising doesn't work, or like I just onboarded somebody today. He wanted everything. I'm like, look, here it is, 27 pages, pretty clear, you know, because I wanted to clear expectation that, you know, when he gets to start working with me, then we're going to be crushing it together. And same thing with your clients, you know, how can you all crush it together? That's a really important question. You know, does anybody here have an offer that's over 20K?
It's coming down the line.
Okay, there you go. And yeah, and that's 100%, you know, for me, you know, sometimes you have to build into it. Some people start out that way. I know my first offer in this lane was $100,000, and I had 2 people say yes to it. So it just depends on what you're already doing, where the market sophistication is. There's a lot of left brain stuff here, but just the bottom line is we have to figure out it's going to be more of a relationship, transaction, and also what happens next
once they say yes. And typically that's the little triangle that I like to use. So I just wanted to share that with you as well, because we didn't talk about that last week. We really didn't have a lot of time to go into it. So cool.
Cool.
All right. So we talked about the hopes and dreams for your content and demonstrating your genius and putting it in data, insights, and KPIs together so your audience resonates with it. And for this specific audience, I like to go a lot deeper into that, because we have to put math to the words. We have to put math to the actions. There are a lot of people who are very highly talented in the healing services industry. That's what I call it. You know, because but they don't know how to quite market themselves. They're a little bit unsure as to how much they should charge. They don't know what they can say or what they can't say. I've also been in super restrictive industries as well. So, you know, a lot of this shows up. Is anybody experiencing that right now in their own practice? Okay, cool. So as far as working through that, what right now, and this is your time, like what are you seeing right now as the bottlenecks in your practice?
I know for blockchain and crypto, what's going out in the media for as in the I would say negativity on the perception, and it can be, not it can be, but it's a tough sell when it comes to dealing with people's money. So, yes.
Okay. So when you say dealing with people's money, and you okay? We're having this conversation, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I'm like, look, I'm over here writing down my wins so I can copy and paste it in the group chat. I'm over here acknowledging everybody. I'm like, okay, boom, 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 boom. Blockchain, but yeah. So what I'm hearing, Fred, is I've been doing a lot of insight, asking people who participate in blockchain and want to get into blockchain and use it as a transformational process for their finances. And what I've learned is that those who were into the infancy stages of where cryptocurrency is put a lot of money into it and lost a lot because they didn't know the trade. They just knew that they believed the hype and popularity. And there are those who are participating on other crypto platforms that may have network marketing attached to it. And the companies were up, and then less than 3 years, they were gone. So with these, like you say, tentacles, for those who are really into the innovations and really understand the technology, like myself and a few other individuals, is that we have proven systems, but how do you remove the dissonance and create that resonance where we invite the correct audience to say this is the future, because it is, coming down the line.
Sure. Okay. So this applies to everybody. So, I mean, literally what I'm about to say, and I really appreciate you going deep with me on that, because this really is a big deal. I have some friends that are in the crypto lane, big time. And the whole thing about it is going through this process, even if it's not crypto or anything else, will really help you understand exactly the context of this. So the first question would be specifically, what is your offer?
Oh, you're asking me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I apologize. I was like, group. So my offer is basically how to put money into your pocket and have money left over at the end of the month, and how to grow it and multiply it through the blockchain and cryptocurrency, utilizing smart contracts, as well as crypto and forex exchange, where it's built by artificial intelligence, where you can just earn passively. And what it targets when it comes to holistic healing side of it is to reduce financial anxieties.
Okay. So, and I appreciate that. So going through the offer, how would you get me to enroll in it? Because that's important, right? Like, I heard smart contracts. I might not know what that is.
Okay. So thank you for this clarity. I'm like, ooh, this is so awesome sauce. Okay. So the way that I follow through in the process is people will book a 30-minute complimentary early blockchain adoption introduction, where I go over an overview on what blockchain is, what cryptocurrency is, what smart contracts, you know, what these platforms is, so they can gain a basic comprehensive knowledge. Then I share what the value benefits it offers them when it comes to the system that I reverse engineer with platforms that I, you know, tested and am able to use my credibility and reputation on.
Okay. Is there any legal or financial challenges or obstacles specifically in your industry?
So when it comes to the legalities, my background is in the financial services, and I studied the tax codes when it comes to virtual currency. So through that studying, I developed a way where one of the most important things is how do you report it on taxes? So I use an income shifting strategy or tax strategy when it comes to the business, and saying that it's not a financial interest when you see on a 1040, but a financial obligation to sustain and grow your business. So that creates a peace of mind, and as well, platforms that I have in the system where they become audit proof. And then of course I do a disclaimer in the introduction that I'm like, hey, I'm not a CPA or tax accounting, you know, type of thing, but we got experts that I can refer, you know, them to if they want to get more, you know, technical.
See, that's why I like hanging out with y'all. I just heard some fire there. Did anybody figure out how we can like really package that? Because that's just so incredible. I literally heard how to audit proof your blockchain. Now, it may not be that way, but that's what I heard. But the whole thing about it is that accurate enough, or is that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So
yes, I am so certain. Shit, I'm on Miro's platform. Hell, and it's recorded. Like, I gotta know my stuff.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. So from a marketing angle, if you put that up front first, what do you think would happen to your audience sophistication and your attraction levels?
It'll go up because people are like, what? Audit proof?
Yep. Anybody disagree with that so far? So the key thing is to put the main thing up front, but we have to talk through it. And then just through us talking through this, I heard, okay, great. Because I've had my tax license as well. I've been CTEC, I've done all that stuff. So I had a tax practice, I get it. So it's just like, you know, just for this reason, so I can have these kinds of conversations. So the way that I would recommend everybody to do this is to pretend like you're in the worst neighborhood. It's 11:30 at night. You got to run into the convenience store. You got your baby in the car. And you got to go out there and grab one thing really quick. You know, what does that look like in your world? And you have the best benefits, in my humble opinion. Let's reverse that up front, to put that up front so that we can get the audience who's sophisticated enough who you can help right now. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
In that way, I mean, you don't have to. I'm just saying, but typically, what I found is that if you just test that message to just see if that's actually going to resonate a little bit more, because that is some of the people's concerns. And if you're hitting it up front and you're the only person doing it up front, then you literally create your own, what they call blue ocean. You literally create your own audience. You literally create your own village, your own tribe. They believe you. And the other thing too, real talk, is that me personally, I unsubscribed from news and politics 26 years ago. It almost got me killed in the Marine Corps just from, you know, the way that I was moving, because I was a public affairs media relations specialist. So you'll probably find people out there as well who maybe don't even watch the news. So, because you can get into your own bias and echo chamber without even realizing it. I see it happen all the time with speakers and authors. And I'm just like, y'all, like, when's the last time y'all really talked to somebody? When the last time you really came off stage and actually talked to somebody? Like, I roll up my sleeves, so I stay current and relevant. So the thing about it is, and even if you aren't doing that for your offers as well, everybody on this call, like, it just going in and touching it and testing it to see if it works. You know, to me, that's the key element. So hopefully, was that helpful?
That was very powerful, insightful. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that. And also, thank you. Great analogy. I appreciate that. Yeah, I was out in long story, but yeah, so the resonance equals the revenue. So what had happened was, and again, so we want to have love language matching. So what I did in that specific example was, if somebody's focused so much in on money, logistics, policies, procedures, compliance, and all that stuff, right? They wouldn't be doing that if they didn't have money. So we have to calibrate our conversations to where our audience focus really is. We have to really see Like, what's that one or two things that we can test right now that's absolutely going to move the needle for our audiences? It doesn't matter what industry. That tool is industry agnostic. It's all about focusing in on where that person's attention is. So that's how we match their love language. Like, you said some words, I'm like, oh, okay, she said something that I heard the little lingo. I'm like, okay, great, because I've spoken that lingo before. So you can get them in mass in that scale. So that way your offers are a lot more easier to deliver to them. They're like, oh man, you figured this out? Like, wow, I was wondering where the IRC and the IRM and are they doing this? Look, I know the light. Look, I've been there. I get it. So they're going to speak a different language. It's like, well, shoot, how much is that? Oh, it's $6,000. Can I give you 10? I'm just kidding. But sometimes that happens though. It really does. But you understand what I'm saying? So if you put it like that, all we're doing is just we're hitting the hardest nail in that. We're hitting that nail really, really hard. And it's not even really pain driven in as much as just saying, hey, this is where your focus is. I'm the expert for handling that specific focus. Let's go. Doesn't matter whether it's Reiki, doesn't matter whether it's Legion, doesn't matter whether it's massage, you know, that we all have a specialty in one thing within those niches, if that makes sense, those industries. Cool? All right. So we talked about the percentage of the languages last week. I think I'm almost done, bro. Let's go over here though. I do want to talk about this. Based on the love languaging that we have a brief demonstration of, does anybody have any questions on that? I can't really go into this pop quiz question number 2 because that was really last week, but I wanted to make sure that I'm not glossing over anything as well. You know, I want to spend about another 5 minutes with this doing Q&A, and then we really we'll be finished. So I want to make sure that everybody got what they need. They're full. Give me a real super hard question that's been stumping you, and I'm all ears.
Okay. I have a question.
Okay.
I am going to be talking at a National Metaphysical Expo, and I'm going to do a topic that hasn't been covered there yet. And so I was really listening when you were talking about creating that blue ocean. That's the first time I heard about that. My topic is narcissism. And you're talking about their love language. And what I've noticed in the metaphysical world, in Orange County anyway, where I work, when I put the word narcissism up front, people don't usually come into my talk, even though it's a buzzword right now. And when I ask people about it, often it's about, well, they're not aware about it and they want to see the best in the other person. So it doesn't matter really what the reasons are for me, except that it's not hitting it right. And so then when I change it into talking about energy vampires, oh my gosh, all the metaphysicals tune into that because they want to hear about energy vampires. That's a cool thing, you know? So the thing is that because the man who's running this National Expo published a book on narcissism this year, his son, who was setting up my workshop schedule, said, don't be afraid, put the word narcissism. So we came up with the title, How to Divinely Transcend Narcissism and Dispel Energy Vampires, so that we get both. Okay. But this is the thing. I'm supposed to do a half-page ad, and I've already paid for it. And I'm just wondering, this is the title for my workshop. Is there an effective tagline or rule or anything I should follow to create that tagline so I can stand head and shoulders above all the other metaphysical people who are all about manifesting and, finding their thing energetically?
100%. And yes, I owe you a text back. I have literally.
No worries.
I owe you. So definitely there is a very simple way. And here's what I have to say about anybody who's recommending something in an untested or a low volume market, because that's really what that's called. You got to be super careful. On one hand, you can be first to market on a lot of stuff, but you can be so original and unique to the point where it's just not cost effective for you because it's literally trying to push water uphill with your hands. So you want to make sure that there is an appetite for it and also things that come into season. Literally what you're talking about, I have a course and it's actually going to be part of one of the courses I'm going to give next week out. It's called Slay a Guru. And my first module is called The Narcissistic Personality. I legitimately have it all coded out. I sold it. It monetized really well. And I'm talking about with some of the world's top thought leaders and experts who purchased that course. But they're next level. They're ahead of their curve. They're literally the ones who are right now like, you know, turning wrenches in a high level advertising lanes and controlling narratives and stuff like that, right? So you have that very sophisticated market, right? They may have an appetite, but right now they talked about that 2 years ago, right? And then you have this other audience right here who may just be emerging. So you have to find those patterns of commonality, because if it's too unfamiliar, even if it's a common word or an emerging word, the bottom line is there isn't enough energy in that, right? So let's boil this. Let's go super woo-woo, lead energy, energetic, just all energy, right? Everything's energy, right? So if you're going to a metaphysical concert, because that's what I call them, because they're fun, they're dope. Are you, is it mainly dark energy or light energy there?
That's a good question. I think it's a mix. There have been up to 13,000 people and they come from around the world. It's the largest national, but we have people flying in from other countries.
So gut instinct, mainly dark. There you go. So if somebody's saying that it's mainly dark, Anna's saying it's mainly dark, maybe the narcissism would be a good one, because most people, especially from an NLP standpoint, they're going either towards something or away from something. So you'd have to figure that part out first with the audience vibe. That's going to be super key and super critical, right? So if you get that part wrong, it can be very, very costly. Like, no matter how great the ad will be, if there's no market for it, just like right now, we got cars. There's no need for horse and buggies. There's a market for it, but it's super rare. But at one point in time, it was mass produced, if that makes sense. You know, everything comes in and out of season. So the easiest way that I always do it, and this is always my go-to for everybody right here, is shopping. I love going to Facebook ads because people are willing to invest money and put their money where their mouth is. So let's just check out that. I forgot how to do narcissist for narcissism. NARCISISM, I think, right?
Yes, ISSISM.
So let's take a look at that real quick. Is this helpful for everybody else too?
Yes, I feel like I'm at the Apollo.
Okay. Cool. Appreciate that. So restrictions, I also have to look at this from November to November 8th. So, and again, that might be a social issue. You never know. You never know how they categorize it. I literally had one of my accounts banned about 4 months ago in a real estate lane. The guy had leads at $93.10. I got him down to $2.82, and Facebook thought I did something wrong. I'm just that good at what I do. So, you know, I don't see anything here. It says your individual, keep in mind when they're feeling their ex-spouse acting narcissistic during divorce. That could be one. I'm not seeing anybody right now so far. Michael Unbroken. Okay. So it looks like Michael Unbroken is doing stuff, but he's talking about trauma transformation conference, allowing yourself the space. He's not talking about narcissism directly.
Okay.
But he is running ads. He's got about 6 so far that I'm seeing. So he's winning the internet right now from that.
Okay.
So, and you saw me, I still have narcissism right up here. And even if you look at the trend on Facebook, you've got 6 right here, that's 7,000 people roughly, right? The Lost Self, Life After Narcissism, 37,000 people follow that. It's emerging possibly, but it's not like 2 million followers. It's not like, you see what I'm saying? So let's get some contrast on the mainstream part of this, right? And then even if we just go, let's go to Google, how to beat narcissism.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. How to beat narcissism, right? So it's 19.4 million results. Not very much in the difficulty, which means that it's emerging. It's not that much of a competitive thing. Yeah, so I'm looking at, so it's somewhere in the middle. Looks like it may be emerging.
Okay.
So it's literally, just looking at this data, it's practically 50-50.
Okay.
Just from Google. So we looked at Facebook and we looked at Google, right? So now it's just a math problem versus a word problem.
Okay.
If you're thinking 50-50, it's a 50-50 shot for you to walk in that space and give your offer and people are going to convert. I'd rather put it 80-20.
Me too.
Yeah. So now we have to figure out the angle. So I want you to book a call with me, and that way we can figure that out. Cool?
Oh, thank you so much. Yes. I'll text you. I'll ask you on the text for the link to book a call with you. Got it.
Okay. Well, I'll give it to you right now. It's I'll just put it in the chat right here. But yeah, as y'all can see, my slideshow went down really fast that quick. That's how fast these things are. It was only 10 slides a day. So, so here is the link right here. www.contactfred.com. Cool. So that's the link to book. Also, I am done, Louis. If that's it, I mean, I wish it was a little bit more, maybe sexier, but I want to make sure that we had everything in place. It looks like everybody's tightened up. They got what they need. Any other questions, thoughts, concerns? Fred's a psycho. He's way
I
off.
had a quick question, but I think it's kind of the same as the one you just dealt with.
Okay.
And that is like I'm speaking in front of a group of investors next week. It's kind of one of the first times I'm doing it. And there's a lot of things that make my opportunity unique. And a lot of different avenues that are not really out there, but I am, I'm limited to like 4 minutes on my talking time and then 2 and 3 minutes of Q&A. So I'm not really sure which ones are going to be the niche or the hot points to express, because there's a lot of different variations.
Got it. So my question is, do you have the flyer? Was there a flyer that was passed out for people to attend?
No, it's all email.
Invite only?
I don't think so. I could probably find one.
Was it invite only?
Yeah, I think it's an invite only type thing.
Okay. So out of the invite only, do you know some of the names who are going to be there? Have they announced who's going to be speaking other than you? Is it just you? Are you keynoting or?
No, so I engaged in a partnership with a third-party company. They take a very small amount of equity from your company in exchange for 3 years of service, helping you find an investor. So all these accredited investors are part of this company, and then it'll be like me and I think 5 to 10 other guys that are going to present to all these investors. And
okay, perfect. I can give you some insight if that's okay.
Yeah, please.
Cool.
Thank
So
you.
right, so real quick, what's your topic on? What's your offer?
It's a telemedicine platform.
Okay. So like when you're going to get on stage, what are you going to be offering there?
Well, we're essentially equity for cash.
Equity for cash. Can you recession proof that?
I could show how the business is recession proof, I believe.
That's probably one of the hottest topics to tie into that, and you'll have everybody's attention.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, without of course any wild claims in that industry, because I know you don't want to have any exorbitant claims. I'm like, dude, like breathing in that industry is considered an exorbitant claim. So, yep, I get it. Yep. So no, that's hopefully that was that helpful.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's
because
good.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, I mean, I guess it kind of goes without saying, but I guess it is partly just trial and error, seeing what sticks, trying different things.
Well, yes, true. Also, again, if you're talking about sophisticated investors, what it sounds like you are, then you have all the trade magazines that are currently feeding them the narrative. And now, while in that lane, technically, especially M&A, they've got their own way of getting data without liberally looking at the news. The reality of it is some of them are going to be looking at that, just like, I used to know day traders used to look at the Wall Street Journal, even though, everybody knew by the time that came out it was way too late, just like that's just how it works in that industry. So for the most part, if you're able to get some real inside data, but everybody's looking at right now the recession. But why is there a recession? It could be because of too much money pumped in, but most of the time it's because the investors are uncertain, so they pulled back their investments. And let me know if I'm wrong on that. That's what's going on. They say, we're scared. We don't know which way to go with our money. So they pull out. Their pull out game.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and when I met with one of the people from that company, he was telling me how the numbers have been down the last few years for everybody, just across the industry. So, yeah, that's really good.
Well, also, I want to challenge that belief too. Because I'm not seeing it down in the industry per se, because I'm also in the PE and M&A lane. What I'm seeing is a redistribution of funds. A lot of these people are going into untapped, brand new, unknown markets. That's what's really going on. And I'm very much in the cannabis lane. I'm starting to see a lot of activity in that lane as an example. Like you got to know people in that lane and know exactly how money's moving. So a lot of money's moving back into the family practices and stuff like that. They're taking over. It's kind of a big deal what's going on right now. So it's a lot of like back of like people who make the law kind of stuff who are really shifting and redistributing these funds. There's also a special, anyway, without getting too into the legalese of things, I'm seeing a major shift in people looking for different tax code advantages as well, because they just want to put their money, they just want to make it move, that they want their money moving. They don't want it stagnant at all. They're just very avert, they're very gun shy right now. And that's literally what I'm saying. Because I have one guy right now who's looking for deals, and then I have another guy who's doesn't need any more. So it just depends on what network you're in. Does that make sense? And with everybody in here, it's not just M&A. It literally, you got to figure out where the appetite is. You have to figure out where your starving audience is. You have to figure out all of those different dynamics. So hopefully that was really, really helpful. So, and cool. Thank you, brother. And that was one of the reasons why I did present this last week. The price is going to bump up on the 27th, 26th. I'm actually going to do a paid speaking event. It's for $96, but everybody here can get it for just $37. I'm going to go on. This is a very, very light version of what's going on. I'm getting all my stuff done through high level, but it's a 4-hour live workshop, 3 secrets. I'm going to go into more detail about it. If you feel compelled to check it out, cool. If not, no worries. And that's my Fred talk for today. I really do appreciate your help. And I do appreciate your love. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you being how you are, showing up for the world. And I really want to eventually talk to everybody here one-on-one at some point in time, because again, that's the only thing that we got. It's a commodity that gets wasted often, especially when it comes down to trying to attract the right people. So.
Wow. I wish I had a little I
appreciate it.
What a badass Fred talk.
Yeah.
Thank you. Definitely appreciate that so much. And
yeah, like relationships, not transactions.
100%. You're yep. That's it. Yep. So, and again, if y'all need anything, because I got to bop off, but much love, crew. If you need anything, just give me a holler. I'll be around the internet.
All right. Do we get a promo code so we can get that 36? You know what I'm saying? Count and change.
Oh, that's it right there. You put that in, it's automatically 37. Anything else? And again, if you want it, it's $97. I rebate 100% less processing fee. So if you send me 100 people at $97, I give you the $97 less the processing fees. So anybody interested in that deal, that's what I'm doing as well. So
I'm interested.
Okay. I'll check you out. I'll hit you up.
All right. Okay. Don't hit me, love me. Pat me down.
Fantastic.
Hey, well, really quick, I can't. It's that contactfred.com. It's not pulling up for me for whatever reason. I don't know.
It takes a while. On my phone, it didn't pop up.
Okay. Maybe it's just loading.
Look, we need support, Fred. Yeah, all right, Lewis. Let's give it up for Fred, everybody. Woo! Thank you so much. Indeed.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you, Fred. You're awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. It's incredible.
Yes. All right, turn it back over to you, Lewis. Come on with it. I got the slide.
All right.
Now that's it. Send me a friend request. I'm out, y'all. Much love. I'll chat soon.
Okay.
We'll send you a friend request. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put you into breakout rooms where you're going to share a couple things. Empress, you got the slide for what people are going to be up to in these breakout rooms?
Yes, I do. Let's go.
Excellent.
Here. And doom. Uh-oh. Let's see. Go back to that basic thing. There we go. Boom. There we go. Can you guys see my screen?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right.
Yep. If you could move it over just a little bit, it is.
I did something. I did a boo-boo. Hold on. Let me do it again.
No worries.
Let's see. I gotta learn how to take it off this. Okay. Let's
put it on full screen. Yeah.
Full screen here. Okay, there we go. Share. All right, can you guys see?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome sauce. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our hot seats. Get our booties ignited. So let me go over some little rules and regulations. But now we want to transform our challenges into opportunities simply because Opportunities leads to solution-based ideas and concepts. So take what you've gathered with Fred Smith and his amazing wisdom, and let's create some solution-based ideas and concepts that can become readily available to implement immediately once we get off this mastermind. So what you're gonna do is 30 seconds, you do an introduction of who you are, 30 seconds on who do you serve? What is your divine audience? Who's that amazing soul? And then you get to get 60 seconds on discussing your challenges you are dealing with when it comes to your self-growth or business. And lastly, what happens is that in that 2-minute period, we will be participating in asking you clarifying questions, because your clarity creates reality. So we're going to open up for questions, and that will top our 4 minutes. And we're going to be empowering ourselves as a group for our self-growth and development. Now, there's an acronym I want us all to remember. And if you want to write it down, that acronym stands for CROSS. C stands for connection. So what connection that you or resonate that you can support that person who is sharing their life story and about their business with? What resources can you provide? Are you a person that got a podcast or know someone that can get that problem solved? And what opportunities can you bring to the table? And what people can we share our network with? And most importantly, that we learn in Manifest X is systems. Do you have some kind of system that's set in place to get it up and running? So I'll turn it back over to you, Mr. Lewis, to put us out in our breakout session. So any questions before we get started?
Any questions from the group? All right, and welcome to Christine.
Welcome, Christine.
Good to see you again. Good to have you. Excited about our call. It's all right. Actually, so because of the technical stuff that I'm dealing with, if you could, Empress, create the breakout rooms and send people in, what y'all will see is just a pop-up on your screen. It'll tell you to join a breakout room, and everybody clear on what they are doing. You're sharing who you are, etc. Question, Christine. Yeah.
Could you just give me an outline of what?
Here you are. Here you
sure.
are, Christine. I apologize. You just popped in. Go ahead.
Oops.
Yeah, if you want to screenshot that or just take a quick note.
Okay.
I don't see anything to screenshot.
Okay. You're not able to see my screen where
I can. I don't know. Maybe she's having an issue, but I can see it. Hot seat.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. I don't see the option for me to create breakout rooms. So is it just appropriate that we can just
now I see it.
Okay.
Yeah, we could hot seat people here. We'd have to minimize instead of like a full like 9 or 10 minutes per person, because we've got about 20 minutes. So if you all can do this whole process, who are you? Who do you serve? What's your challenge? We'll ask some clarifying questions, and then we'll empower you. And what we'll do is we'll give about, let's say, 4 minutes for this whole process. So that gives us time for about 3 or 4 people. So who's first?
All right. Well, I'm just going to start selecting guests around here. And what kind of guests that we have here today? Let's get with, is Anna on the line? Is Anna on the line?
Yeah. Yes, I'm here. Hi, everybody.
Hi there.
Glad to be here.
Hello.
Thank you. Okay, so should I start? Jump straight to it?
Yes, go ahead. Got you counting.
Empress, love. Thank you. Glad to be here. So I'm an entrepreneur. So I'm currently developing 2 businesses, event production and my private meditation and energy work classes. And so that's who I am. My target audience are women. So I empower women and conscious entrepreneurs. What are my challenges? My challenges are coming up with the price range for my services, with the price range for both my events and my private classes. That's it. Boom. Right there.
Wow. Well done. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
I'm also impressed. I got your friend request already. Like, you're already networking halfway through the event.
I'm super fast, Louis. I'm super fast. That's me.
Love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, all right. Who's got some clarifying questions? I mean, it's a pretty clear challenge, but in case we have anybody.
Bring it on. I'm ready.
All right. So, okay, I've got some questions / suggestions for you.
Perfect.
What is the cost